taking July off from D&D, and we're going to play some Vampire the Masquerade. We are all pretty much rookies at Vampire the Masquerade. I've run, I think, one session other than this, and so there will be errors to the rules. There will be mistakes. If you notice a mistake or error, please feel free to comment or leave message. But just all I ask is be constructive. Don't
be a dick. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. We're gonna try.
Happy has that role already, people.
The one thing that we have not done really as a group yet is talk about like sort of veils and what's it called? Veils and
triggers.
Basically, where everybody's limits are. But I would like to believe that we've played long enough that I have a general idea of where I can go and where I can't go. But you know, just so you know, Vampire deals with some rather mature things. People will get hurt. There are power inequities in this game where, you know, vampires over ghouls and over mortals and things like that. So be aware that if at any time, and I mean, it is a horror game. So if at any time the game becomes uncomfortable for you to watch, or you're not digging it, please just, you know, take a break. Step away. We'll be here when you get back. Yeah, but just that warning ahead of time that this is maybe not a Sunshine and Rainbows game. We'll see. Let's roll the trailer and then we'll begin. So we are playing Blood in the Six, a vampire story. It takes place in Toronto. For those that don't know, Toronto is the most populous city in Canada and the capital of the province of Ontario. The province of Ontario holds a full third of the entire country's population. So it is the most densely populated province in the country, resulting in a cosmopolitan and multicultural atmosphere for the city. For a little bit of background knowledge, if you're familiar with Vampire, Toronto was firmly in the grasp of the Sabbat for a long time, and the city still managed to prosper, putting sort of the stereotypes that Sabbat cities are crime-ridden, and places of like urban decay. It kind of put all that to shame. Toronto was kind of this one example of the opposite, and this was likely due to most of the Sabbat here were followers of the path of death and the soul. Having chosen Toronto as the center for their activity, they were also known as being necronomists, or those interested in the dead, and they had other interests as well. However, the Sabbat has crumbled now, and Toronto falls into the hands of the Camarilla mostly. There are a number of Anarch Barons who lay claim to the streets as well. Once it was known as Hogtown, but in recent nights, Toronto is called the Six. Toronto was once made up of 6 municipalities, and the main telephone number, area code, if you're not familiar, is 416. But the main source is probably Drake, who coined the city the Six. So,
basketball.
We are in the Six. It is night. It is pouring rain. There is distant thunder and lightning. The city is expected to receive a storm right off of Lake Ontario this evening. But right now, it's just rain. Each of you have received an invitation. The invitation was very direct. It was that for you to come to 416 Records Incorporated, which is a record label downtown Toronto. The invitation came under strange circumstances. It was the person that delivered your invitation obviously knew what you were, that you weren't human anymore. The invitation simply says to bring this card 2416 records on this night after sundown, and security will escort you to the appropriate meeting. So, in the rain, in the oncoming storm, you've all made your way downtown, and you find yourselves all in a lobby of a high-rise building, almost 30 stories in height, made of glass, metal, steel, very cold and sort of nondescript. No interesting architecture. It's like just one of these towering rectangles that so many of today's cities have. If the sun were up, all the windows would be tinted and reflecting the light back out. But right now it's dark. The windows, there's a spattering of water from the rain across the windows of the foyer that you're currently in. There's a few uncomfortable sort of faux leather benches around the edges of the foyer. There is an overweight night security guard sitting behind the desk, and he's asked each of you to sit down and wait, and someone will be down to take you upstairs shortly. So far, though, no one has come. Allie, what does Allie look like? What is everyone else seeing? And then maybe let us know what does she have any suspicions or concerns about tonight's meeting?
Allie's got sort of long, probably darker hair that she keeps up in a ponytail. She wears tank top and jeans, sensible shoes. Looks like she spends a lot of time exploring places. She's probably nervously waiting by a window right now, looking out at the storm.
Is the nervousness obvious, or is she trying to hide that?
She's probably trying to hide it because her sister's here, but yeah, you could probably see it. She's nervous. Being around this group of people makes her nervous.
Why don't we have our first roll of the night then? Let's do a performance, performance and composure, just to see if we can look our best. 2 successes, 2 of 2. No one knows the wiser. Any nervousness is not showing on the surface. You're keeping your cool. You mentioned your sister, so let's jump to Lacey. What does Lacey look like, and how is Lacey feeling tonight?
Lacey is about 5'10" and very fit, muscular in pretty much everywhere from her history. Currently wearing like ripped up jeans and a biker jacket. Her hair is long and black with thick strands at the front of purple and blue. Eyes are hidden behind sunglasses currently, but there is like a glint of red behind them. She is agitated. Not like out of control agitated, just very aware that some things she may have done could have put her in hot water.
Is she trying to hide that at all, or no?
No, it kind of exposes itself in just sort of this caged animal pacing and kind of watching exits and entries to the area.
Okay. Can I get you to give us a strength intimidation check? So you're going to click on intimidation first, but intimidation strength.
Okay. Full size modifier? Anything?
Nope. No modifier.
Oh, that's the wrong button. Difficulty 2?
Yep.
Well, I cooked it. I don't know where it went.
I don't know where it went. It might appear eventually.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
There we
there it
go.
is.
There we go.
Oof.
Ooh, what?
Okay. Okay. Everyone can maybe sense a little bit of worry, but for the most part, you're definitely a physical presence. And having 2 dots in fame, the rest of you maybe notice that you maybe recognize Lacey from the MMA fighting scene. At
Yep.
least the
My face
Toronto
would be on
MMA.
some posters, and if you were into that sort of thing, you might have seen me fight.
Exactly.
Before and after being turned.
Exactly.
I got
Okay.
no idea what that is.
Clementine. What does Clementine look like, and sort of what's Clementine's feelings for tonight?
She looks pretty much like me, but like on steroids, a little more eccentric, a little more wild. And she's just trying to figure out, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, there's one person who really stands out in this group. She thought maybe this was something for artists, and then there's an old man, so I'm just staring at him.
Okay.
Take
Okay.
a picture, it'll last longer.
Old men can be artists.
I can paint you.
Like a French girl?
Like a dead man.
Hmm.
Give me an intelligence, maybe an insight with intelligence.
How do you mix two things?
So you click insight, and then it should give you the option to add an attribute, and then you're going to add intelligence into that. There's no modifier, and you can just leave it at difficulty 2 if it asks you for a difficulty. I just sort of eye this old man up and down.
Okay, click insight and add, what was it?
Intelligence. It's getting there, old man. It's getting there. Okay, so as you look at this old man up and down, I mean, you seem to recall Raphael, on one of the few talks that you had with Raphael. You really shouldn't embrace old men or young children. That's looked poorly upon. Old women as well. Old men, old women too. But there's certain age indicators that the kindred try to stay between, and you think they've missed the mark with this guy. Let's go to this old guy, Cornelius. How do you look? How do you feel about being summoned to 416 Records?
Oh, happy just to be out of the house. Wouldn't if I could, I'd like to look around for the new Billie Holiday album while I'm here.
And how are we dressed tonight, Grandpa?
Pretty much like this.
Yeah.
Got my fine silk shirt on. Ready for a night on the town.
And gray hair?
And what's left of it. Starting to get a little thin back here where the wig's cheap.
Yeah. Well, hey, it happens. It happens. And last but not least, Cisco.
Yeah, he's dressed in a suit. Looks very much like he just walked out of a meeting from Bay Street. He's got on suit, nice tie, monogrammed down at the corner with his cuffs, monogrammed with his initials, JC. Trench. It's because it was raining. He'd have his trench coat under his arm with his umbrella. Proper haircut. Looked like, again, complete businessman wearing a nice suit, nice tie, nice jackets. Obviously, and they're all high end. Nothing he's wearing is low end. It's all this guy. It's right out of. He's got an office in Bay Street. It's not on the ground floor. It's somewhere in the middle and up.
Okay. And how are you feeling about being here tonight?
He's kind of agitated. Like, he's kind of angry that he's sort of here, but kind of at the same time a little scared. Like I don't know why I'm in the principal's office. I shouldn't friggin' be here. But what did I? And he's going through his head. What could have possibly made me come here? Like, what do they want from me?
Okay.
I know I don't. I know I can't say no,
Well,
but I don't want to be here.
and I will say this, Cisco, as you look about the room, the one girl, very familiar from a bit of a bad spot of trouble you got into not long ago.
Yeah. Kind of like through my sunglasses, glare at her. Thanks to you.
So, does anyone say anything?
Who invited the narc?
I'm just gonna ignore that. I ain't saying shit.
No?
No.
Do you feel like that's an appropriate description?
No, it'd be very clear that I'm not an arc. I'm very clear that the guy is like, yeah, this guy is a banker. This guy is some kind of businessman. Like he's not doing banking. He's a lawyer, and if he's not a lawyer, he's an IT guy, like an IT senior exec.
All right. Are the two sisters sitting or standing close to one another?
Lacey's pacing.
What's Allie doing?
I'm standing over by one of the windows looking out.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that we're not near each other.
Near enough.
You watch as a red and white city bus pulls up out in front of the building.
Would I not
people jump
recognize-
off holding newspapers over their head and run for cover on other buildings.
Would I not recognize the two, like the artist and the one's a pro
Yeah,
wrestler?
Clementine, I think, also has some fame, right?
Yeah.
She's known around town for her art. Questionable art, though, isn't it?
There's other people known for blood art. I'm not the first. I just do it the best.
Fair. And you'd certainly recognize maybe Lacey from her, being a is
she a wrestler, or what are you? Are you a wrestler?
MMA.
MMA.
Yeah, you'd probably recognize that.
Mm-hmm.
I make my own kind of blood art.
I think Lacey at two fame. Lacey's probably like she's right about ready to sort of make the break. Like you might actually catch her on, like a UFC low on the card, but still there. Yeah. So there's a lot of awkward silence, and then you start to hear the clicking of like stiletto heels on the hard floor coming down the hallway towards the foyer. It's not long before a well put together woman in business attire. She has sort of like a pantsuit on. There's a very pale, it's black, but you can pick up a little bit of a pale blue pinstriping across the jacket and the pants, and a matching silk blue blouse underneath. Her hair is cut short, cropped, and her makeup is perfect. Maybe too perfect.
Ew.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just said ew.
She doesn't so much nod to the guard as like almost lifts her nose to him. And he is quick to look away. And she says, you all have invitations, I assume? And then stiffly and quickly puts a hand out to take them.
Pull one out of my pocket, just hand it to her.
Mr. Cisco? It is Cisco, correct?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
No last name?
You took that from me. Thank you.
Well, not me, but... Looks at the old man. Mr. Bertram.
Pleasure.
I've heard so much about you.
My reputation precedes itself.
Reputation indeed. Your invitation, sir?
I kind of fumble around for a minute, checking like every pocket for it. Like, oh, right here. I pulled it out of my chest pocket.
Is it in good shape or has it gotten
No,
dinged
it's
up in there?
all crumpled to shit.
Okay. She takes that. She comes over to Clementine and smiles a little. Pleased to meet your acquaintance at last.
Pleasure's all mine. I love your makeup.
Thank you. I was actually worried you might not come.
You know, it was an interesting invite, so I thought I'd check it out.
Our host will be very happy that you've come. She then she takes your invitation and moves on to the two sisters.
Just pull mine out of my jacket.
And just to be clear, the two of you have not that would not be common knowledge that
No.
you're sisters, correct? She says happy to have you, ladies, and puts on a bit of what you believe to be a fake grin.
Charmed. I just give her my invitation a little too roughly so it gets all crumpled.
Okay, it squishes in her hands.
And I give her the fake smile right back.
And Allie?
Just hand her over mine. Kind of look her up and down a little bit.
She's not a short woman to begin with. Maybe 5'8", 5'9", and the heels certainly push her even taller, of course. She then says, we'll be going upstairs. Follow me, please. And just as stiffly as she took invitations and that, she sort of turns on a heel and walks down to the elevator, which is waiting open. There's a sort of like bellboy type person standing just inside, and she motions for all of you to walk on in.
I get up, like a proper gentleman. I kind of go, ladies. And the second Affy's character passes me, I kind of under my breath go, at least I dressed for the occasion. And let her go by.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Oh
at all.
no.
Completely
Sorry.
oblivious to that.
I've been knocked in the head a couple times, so you might have to speak up, narc.
I look her. I think you heard me.
I elbow Cisco and I go, You see the gams on that dame?
Yeah, just carry on, sir. when I'm on its way. My intent
Once
to go on last.
Once you're all inside the elevator, she steps in with you. The bellhop, the elevator man, turns a key as the door closes, and then pushes buttons in a sequence that they don't light up. And then the elevator begins to rise.
Can I be watching that?
Sure. Do you want to sort of take a mental note of the formula, essentially the formula that they push to get the elevator to rise like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to anyways, yeah.
Yeah. Let's do wits, and let's see what will we put with this. Let's do wits and awareness.
Awareness? Okay.
So I should do it the other way. Awareness and wits, because if you go to the top,
Yep.
it'll ask you for 2 attributes. So always start with the skill and then go up. Yeah, you've got it. But you'll need that key, you're thinking. As the elevator rises up, There's no corny music. It climbs, and once it gets past about the 10th floor, like it's open air to the city. The one side is glass and you can see out over the lights. You're looking right into the downtown core. You're sort of to the east of Yonge Street, which is sort of like the center line of Toronto. And, you can see the CN Tower down by the lake. You can see the multitude of sky rises around you. When the elevator gets up about 30 floors or so, it comes to a stop. There is a very soft ping. And then the doors open, and there is a hallway and what looks to be like an office reception area. And although it looks very formal, it doesn't necessarily look very used. There are a number of records, platinum records, framed and hanging of a number of the artists that 416 Records represents. The woman steps off the elevator. She doesn't say anything to you, but you can only assume you're to follow. The man working the elevator does not raise his head and makes a point of not making eye contact with any of you.
Human?
He is definitely a human.
As I leave, I tip him $5.
He takes it, but he does not say a word.
No, I don't. I'm not asking for him to say a word.
The woman very briskly walks down a hall and through a door, which she has to reach into her pantsuit pocket and take out a card, which she swipes quickly. There's sort of a funny beep bump, and then she pulls the door open and motions for you to go inside.
After you, gentlemen.
Oh no, ladies first, I insist.
I insist.
Probably a Canadian showdown. No, after you,
Just-
please.
Oh, please.
Roll my eyes and walk past them. Both of you, shut up.
No, I'll just go in. I don't care.
Just because you look older
You know
doesn't
what?
mean
I'm
you
gonna
are.
actually. We'll jump right into a bit of mental combat here. Let's do our resolve versus with both of you resolve with intimidation and resolve.
Resolve. And you want me to use intimidation?
Yeah. You'll have to click on intimidation first and then resolve. Intimidation, resolve.
Oh, okay. We'll close this then.
I rolled it.
Okay.
Roll
I'm sure it'll
20s.
I'm sure it'll come up eventually. There we go.
She's a slow.
2 successes.
Okay, I just rolled it.
Yeah, it'll take a sec. It's being slow for everyone. So the two of you sort of stare one another down at the doorway, and then fight to see who's going to be the one to go
Is
through.
anything happening? I don't see it on mine.
No. Did it ask you for a modifier and all that?
Yeah, it did. It asked.
Okay.
Oh, it's asking for a pool size modifier. What does that mean?
Zero.
Okay. Oh, something's happening.
There we go.
What does it mean? Did I succeed?
So, no, you got 1 success versus Breeze 2. So I would like you to take a point of willpower damage, please, and put a slash in your willpower.
Okay.
On one of the boxes.
Done.
You feel a little intimidated by this woman.
Guys,
You
we'll
might
go
not-
through.
You might try not to show it, but off you go. Beyond the door, there is a number of, where there's a room with a number of desks, sort of like cubicles, open though. Everyone can see everyone in this room. Again, no one's sitting here, and the desks are in pristine order. There is no paper or any extra things out of place. any sort of staplers or anything like that that would be for a business have obviously been tucked away in drawers. There is a set of windows, though. You can now see across this room, you can see out a set of windows, and you can see the oncoming storm. There's a flash of lightning in the distance. The lights in the office have been dimmed slightly. It's not very bright in here. Ahead, there's a pair of double doors, and with that, she opens them, and beyond the double doors, you can see some sort of, meeting room. There's a long table, and there are 2 people already seated inside. The room is a little better lit. There are some lamps around the edges, but no overhead lighting is lit. The one side of the room is entirely glass, looking out over the city in the direction of the lake and the CN Tower. And the man at the end of the table is wearing probably not as nice a suit as Cisco, maybe. A little more casual attire. His jacket hung over the back of his chair, and he has a number of manila folders in front of him that he's looking through. Seated beside him, so he's at the end of the desk. And then beside him is a woman, or at least you have to assume it's a woman. They're very small, and she's dressed almost entirely in black. And she has a black veil covering her face. And in this poor lighting, it almost like the veil almost looks opaque. You can't see. With better lighting in here, you think you could see through it. But in the current lighting, all you get is sort of the material shining back at you. He as you walk in, he looks up to each of you and smiles. You can now see that he has his tie is pulled down a bit. His top button is undone. He has a beard. Maybe his hair is a little unkempt, and he's maybe in his 30s. Please, sit. And then he goes back to looking at the folders.
Cast a glance at Allie and nod my head at her.
I want to sit beside the lady with the veil.
Okay. As you do that, Clementine, you notice a distinct damp smell.
Sorry about that.
That's not what I was hoping for.
Does everyone's...
Yeah, I sit
Sorry,
down.
go ahead.
I'm not going to sit. I'm just going to hover behind one of the chairs. Probably behind Allie's chair. Just kind of lean on it.
Does Allie sit?
Yeah.
Am I to assume that awe is always on?
You can tell me when it's on.
It's on.
Are you now? So, what kind of why should I consider you awe-inspiring, Cornelius?
Have you seen this?
Okay, fair.
I think he probably just has a presence, like an older, kind of wiser.
Like a wise man. Okay.
Yeah.
Like this is someone who knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are you laughing?
Gotta make sure they're gonna be up to date on their CPR just in case.
Is there a defib in the building?
I was a combat medic in the war. Don't worry. You'll be fine.
Do you want to give me a let's see. Can you give me a manipulation?
Yeah.
Well, it would be presence manipulation. So your presence is let's see here. That's your actual ability, which is only 1. So will it let you click on... there should be a dice beside presence, I think. So you can click that dice. And then when will that work?
In the ability?
Yeah, not in awe. You have to go right up to the top of presence, and there should be a little dice.
There's a title discipline roll.
Oh, okay.
Hold on a minute.
Yep.
No, now it's gone. That's weird. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, pool size modifier 0, difficulty. It's just
The app-
rolling. It's not adding it. Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Hold on.
We just need your manipulation plus your presence. So what is Cornelius's manipulation?
4.
4. So we need a 5 dice pool roll here.
So I'll just do none and then do a pool size modifier of 1.
Sure.
Difficulty 2.
Sure. It's opposed. So, but we just want to get a feel for how awe-inspiring you currently are being for everyone. Okay, not bad. There's definitely something about you. So, without raising his head, he says, with the exception of Cornelius, I assume none of you know who I am.
Should we?
He turns a page over. No, I suppose not. I know a little bit of each of you, thanks to...
Google.
He smiles at that. No. Thanks to Mrs. Lawson here. And he motions to the woman that escorted you up. Ms. Lawson makes it a point of gathering information on possible recruits to our cause.
And your cause is?
Stability. Stability to the city and safety to those of us that dwell within it.
And how do you intend to achieve that exactly?
Well, without sounding too formal, there are sort of a number of rules that we've used through the ages that seem to have served us well.
Oh, you're one of those.
Mm-hmm. We're not all that bad, though.
Well, I'm sure the narc will be all up in your business for that.
Are you a narc, Mr. Cisco?
I'm definitely not a narc. You already know that, or I wouldn't even be here. So can we just cut to the point here? Time's money. Money's time. What exactly do you want from me? Why am I here, and why am I here with these people?
Ooh. They told me you might be like that, Cisco. I had no idea. Well done, Ms. Lawson. And she smiles across the table at him. The woman in the veil barely moves at all. He
So,
says,
who are you exactly? Since we
Graham-
haven't.
Graham Arlington is my name. And I am... I'm sort of in charge right now.
I didn't vote for you.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. But, regardless, Toronto is being brought under the control of the Camarilla. And I understand that each of you dwell within our borders, the eastern end of the city, I believe. And, well, I believe tough times for the city are coming ahead. We need to make sure that we're ready for those times. So, we would like to make an offer of membership, so to speak.
Do I
Clearly,
have a... Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I just wonder if I had an inkling of what clan this guy might be from.
so you already have been contacted by the Camarilla, and you know, have, because you have one status there, you've obviously expressed some sort of interest in being a part of this. So you believe that you've heard Graham's name, Graham Arlington. He would be the city's. He would have been on the Primogen Council, which is sort of like the Council of Elders or the Council of Leaders, and he's Clan Tremere. And they're known for being blood sorcerers. And however, he's not the Prince of Toronto, but he's certainly addressing you as if he is.
Kind of lean over the table, look at him, and go, "Respect. Nothing's free. What exactly do you want us to do in order to earn our membership? Because I noticed, and I point over to Affy, you brought an MMA fighter. I point to Jasmine. You brought in an artist. You brought in a cyber banker, and I don't know what these other two do.
Getaway
But,
driver.
I'm assuming, based on our skill sets, whatever you want us to do, it's going to be painful. What do we get in return?"
Only Artemis hears this. Not Artemis. Only Clementine hears this. The veiled woman chuckles to herself as Cisco names off everyone's skills. Graham says, skill set at this point, Cisco, is not really our greatest concern. We're looking to bolster numbers, and we're looking to make sure that the kindred of Toronto uphold our rules and our structures so that all are kept safe.
Barking
You're
up
right,
the
not
wrong
everything is-
tree.
Perhaps. I too had some concerns, Lacey, when I was informed yourself and Allie were being brought in. I am well aware that the Brujah are no longer a part of the Ivory Tower, and that they have chosen to go the way of the Anarch. But there are some still within our ranks, and we are better off for your company.
I guess the question would be, what's in it for us?
Yes. So to answer yours and Cisco's question, and to try to get to the point as quickly as possible, as speed seems to be of value here. If I understand correctly, you're all dwelling in the eastern side of Toronto. And we're looking for stewards of that area. There are a number of neighborhoods which we could grant as your own personal domain. Your little area of Toronto to do with as you please. With, of course, the understanding that we're going to protect the Masquerade and live up to the traditions that the Camarilla stands by. As I'm sure you know, there are a number of other factions vying for power here in Toronto. I would tell you this, though, that the Anarchs are not as organized as they lead you to perhaps believe if you've been in contact with them. In fact, I know of 3 Anarch Barons that are vying for power here. None of them have any sort of organization to the level that we have. Nor do they have the resources to pull upon. That's not to say that entrances, that, you know, that promised domain is free. There is something that I would require of the 5 of you.
Sign me up.
a little bit of housekeeping, and then once complete, we could give you your own little piece of Eastern York.
What kind of housekeeping?
Why don't you just get a bunch of shovel kids if it's that kind of housekeeping?
Well, we don't do that sort of thing here.
Sure.
We like to believe that you can earn your place here, and whatever you earn, of course, you get to keep.
As long as we follow the little rules and traditions, right?
Of course. Of course. Even the Anarchs believe in the Masquerade, if I'm correct. But we have a few more rules. I won't lie to you. There's some things. One of which is to respect another's domain. So once that area of the city is yours, you will, of course, gain the proper respect that one who controls a domain is bequeathed. As well, you would the entire Camarilla of Toronto would be there to aid you in a time of need. I can't say the same for the Anarchs. I have a friend of mine from that very same area of the city who has gone missing, and her servant, her ghoul, has reached out to us and would like us to check in on her well-being. He then looks to the woman in the veil and says, Sheriff Bai is currently very busy dealing with the Anarchs that we have spoken of, and does not have the resources to check on this for me. I think it's a perfect opportunity for you to begin to represent the Camarilla of the city and earn yourselves a piece of the pie.
Do you think, Alice?
I think that it's as good a shot as any for now.
All right.
I'll go one step further, Lacey, as there's a number of, and he opens up your file in front of him. There's a number of rumors and concerns about you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
As Sensual of Toronto, I can make sure that these are of no concern to your Camarilla brothers and sisters. In fact, I bet that many will be very happy to know that we have a number of Brujah still loyal to the cause with us, as your clan's strengths are undeniable.
I think first we try, then we trust.
Of course.
I'm curious what exactly that file thinks it says.
He slides it over to you.
Get up and start reading. Just out of curiosity.
Okay.
See how much they actually know that's actually true.
So what the file basically, as you sit there and look through the file, you can see that, they've got your name. They have guessed at how long you've been a vampire. It's not far off, but it's not right. They know where you're staying. They know of the haven that you and Allie have.
Okay.
The file suggests that the two of you were sired by the same vampire. But that vampire is unknown. Although there is a name, Justine, ?
Does that name ring a bell at all?
No. They have also done a little bit more digging, and they don't have your hometown correct, but they've done some digging into your mortal life. And it probably, but nothing there is too extravagant, having been in the public light as being a fighter. They sort of, they know where you're from. They have some family written down there that they know of. But nothing too crazy. You're maybe maybe you're relieved by that. I'm not sure, but very general. However, they've ranked you. The file also makes note that you would be a valuable physical aspect and a valuable physical prospect, and maybe prove some assistance for the sheriff.
Close it, toss it back on the table. First we try, then we trust. And then probably not trust.
I might surprise you. What about the rest of you?
I'm in. I've been waiting for you to call on me. I'm always ready.
Everything we've heard of you, Cornelius, says you're very eager to join
That's
the
right.
ranks. Maybe too eager.
That's right.
He just wants friends.
It's not often that we see someone of your
Stature?
maturity.
Oh. Well, I don't really know what to say.
Fair.
You got a folder on me too?
I do. I
Let's have a
suppose you
look.
want to read it as well?
Yeah, let's have a look.
He slides that over.
What you got in there?
So they know who your sire is. They've got you marked as Ventru as well. They know your clan. They know the house you're staying at. But there's no reference to the mortals that you live with. That it's a relatively blank file, but you can see down in one corner someone has put a few question marks.
Just question marks?
Yes,
International man of mystery.
indeed.
I'll close it and slide it back over.
Whatever you say there, Austin Powers.
Cisco?
Yeah, Cisco's kind of looks at him and goes like, I'd like to thank you very much for your kind offer, but really, if you've done your homework on me, you know that none of this is appeasing to me at all, and there's really only one thing I really want. If I understand correctly, it might be against your rules.
The woman with the veil speaks up. She says, "You're looking for the one that made you."
Yes. And I'm going to want to exact a little bit of revenge. And I understand that might be a problem with your rules. So why am I here?
And she stands up. She's not very tall. She's just a little person. And she says, the creation of you, Cisco, would have only been against our rules had Camarilla law been in state here when it happened. We're not so insensitive that we can't let bygones be bygones.
She did it.
As for trying to find your sire, I have all the information you need. You need only assist your fellow kindred here in accomplishing what the Essential has asked for, and I'll turn that over to you.
Then you
Does
have
this
yourself
person
a deal.
sound young?
Sorry?
Does this person sound young?
No, quite the opposite. There's a bit of a growl. For sensitivity reasons, I won't imitate, but you think there's probably an Asian accent there, and her name being Bai, B-A-I, you think she's probably Eastern descent? As she stood up, though, everybody kind of got a waft of a dampness, maybe even like a sewer smell to her.
Is that like familiar? Is there like a creature or even a clan that would smell like that on the regular?
You've heard of a clan called the Nosferatu, who hang out in the sewers? Some of them, not all of them, but some of them. Either way, if she's the sheriff, she can fight. Like, that's who the prince would send to get someone. So, Cisco, you say that you have a deal?
Yeah.
And then finally, Graham turns to Clementine.
Sorry, this isn't really my thing. Me and my fans kind of keep to ourselves.
Just think of all the blood you can get.
Well, know that joining us would only increase your fans. And we have many in your clan in very high places here. In fact, the prince that I represent is of the Toreador clan. And she would be very pleased to hear you've joined our numbers.
Would she happen to be looking for abstract art as well?
He looks at the woman in the black veil. He goes, "Don't all Toreador look for abstract art at some point?"
It's true. If she's
And-
interested in maybe purchasing some art, then maybe I could be swayed.
Then why not come on board, as our Bruja allies have, and give us a test run? And I'll make sure that Prince Siobhan is aware of your cooperation. And when he mentions the word Siobhan, Siobhan is like a pop star, singer, sort of, though, like would have been a big hit in the 90s sort of thing, and has fallen out of the limelight, maybe to take up other duties, but has a great deal of fame and wealth in sort of the mortal world.
So you
And
like Gowan?
is no doubt signed, no, not like Gowan, and is maybe like signed even to 416 Records.
Okay, I'll I'll potentially try it out. Maybe you guys just think about, I don't know, there a piece in your foyer when you first walk in. It would really liven up the place.
Is that all it will take?
Yes, I'm looking for fame because I'm an artist. I want people to know me for the art.
The little veiled woman goes, "Before you're dead."
Too late.
He looks across the room and says, "Ms. Lawson, will you please make sure that 416 Records makes an acquisition from our artist Clementine?" And she nods to Graham.
Perfect. I'll wrap you up. My best piece I have available.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. The person that you need to talk to, as the DM frantically scans for it, is Frida Shepherd. She is the ghoul of Miss Jamila Singh. You can find her at Albion Books in East York. Miss Singh's Haven is there at the bookstore.
What was the name of the bookstore again, please?
Albion Books.
Albion Books.
Uh-huh.
And Frida is her ghoul and assistant. He says, if you're not familiar, it's just off Woodbine Ave, near Wadlow Park. You can always come back and request a meeting with me through Ms. Lawson. You can find her here. Any other questions?
I'm driving. Who wants shotgun?
Me.
Do keep in mind that the Masquerade is of utmost importance.
No, chompy chompy. Got it.
Oh, I mean, I understand the need to hunt and feed, but we keep it low-key.
Boring.
Yes, yes. If nothing else, boring. He then stands up, gathers his files, and he says, Ms. Lawson will show you out. Sheriff by, shall we? And the two of them then depart out a side door.
As we're leaving, I asked Miss Lawson for her phone number so I can contact her as required.
Yeah, you're not even finished saying that, and she gives you a card. She says, please remember that the Camarilla looks poorly upon any sort of giveaway language across electronic means.
I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! As I'm like walking out.
She then walks you to the elevator, and you begin to descend. She looks at Allie and Lacey and says, we do miss the brouhaha.
We don't miss you.
We'll see. We had many friends among your clan. It was difficult to see them go.
Maybe we can be friends again someday.
Maybe.
Or you can learn that history will continue to repeat itself the longer you dig yourself into your tradition and your rules.
She smiles. She says, "You've just given me a great deal of nostalgia, Lacey."
Ew.
At which point the elevator stops and bings, and she walks you to the front door. She puts her hand on Clementine's shoulder. Now, Clementine, we will reach out to yourself or to make the purchase that was offered.
Yeah, just send somebody to my place.
Of course. With that, the five of you are left to yourselves in the lobby, and she returns to the elevator. And I think that is a decent place to take a little pause. We'll take our break, and then we'll come back with scene 2.
We'll be back.
Welcome back to our vampire tale, Blood in the Six. The party has just left 416 Records after meeting Essential Graham. You have decided to carpool it together. You make your way to a parking garage not far away, and everyone piles into Cornelius's Oldsmobile 88, I believe.
Oldsmobile Delta 88, mint metallic green. Well, everybody in, there's room for a soccer team in here.
So Ryan's in the driver's seat, and I think Lacey had already called shotgun.
It's actually the front seat is like a bench.
Say,
So you
like
can fit
bench.
like 3 in the front seat.
Does everybody else go in the back? Who's riding the hump in the back?
I stood up by Lacey.
I'll go the back seat.
Okay. So you squeeze in with Lacey?
Yeah.
I think
If there's room up there.
You're pushed pretty close to the old gray man then. 'Cause I would think Lacey, she works out. She's probably got pretty broad shoulders on her.
Oh, you got some muscles on you.
You could say that.
I go to give him a squeeze.
So at this point, I would like everyone to we're gonna make a hunger check. We're going to roll. It should be on the front. You just make a rouse check.
Where am I looking here?
And
rouse check.
yes, and we're looking for a 6 or higher to get a success, but it'll just show success over in our. So this is something we do
Good to go.
every night when we rise as the lifeless things we are. And if you fail this check, your hunger will go up by 1. Right under your skills, you'll see hunger with a bunch of boxes, and underneath that, rouse check.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
So Allie and Clementine can both check 1 hunger.
it did it automatically.
Did it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And did it put you to 2 hunger, Clementine?
Yeah, it did.
I think
You should only be at 1.
it's because she double clicked it and failed twice.
That's okay.
Can I? Well.
So when you roll, you'll get an extra dice on all your rolls, guys, that have hunger. But if that hunger has a bestial failure, bad stuff can happen.
On the drive here, can I because knowing that getting pulled over with a bunch of goths in my Oldsmobile 88 is probably a bad idea.
3 goths, an old man, and a
Not
narc.
all goths.
sorry, 3 Goths, an old man, and a guy in a suit. It's a weird company. Can I try to be like? Can I try to like avoid any like police or anything? Is there any kind of like? Can I make a roll for that or something?
You're just our gay dads. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? I'm not even going to ask for a roll.
Okay.
But you're just taking, you're making sure you're avoiding any trouble spots you think could be between here and there.
I'm not driving too fast. I'm not driving too slow.
Yeah. Does anybody say anything on the ride over? For those
Yeah,
of you that
kinda-
are feeling hungry, you're maybe checking people out as you drive by.
Apologies, the radio broke about 10 years ago.
I lean over and go, so, Jasmine, what's your character's name again?
Clementine.
I lean over to Clementine and go, I thought I recognized you. I think I went to a couple of your shows. I saw some of your stuff at a gallery, went to one of your openings, I think.
Yeah, I've been around town for a little while. You could say I'm a little known.
Yeah. Didn't know what you were at the time, but now suddenly all your art makes sense.
Yeah, I took a real inspiration change after my awakening.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I saw your stuff after you awoken, but before I joined the club.
What
Well,
what kind of music's on the radio?
The radio's
No.
broken.
Broken.
Oh, the radio's broken?
Yeah, it's
So
like
there's just
all
awkward silence in between? I love it even more.
I just turn on the Spotify playlist. It's my workout playlist.
Okay.
So it's just like all angry metal.
All right. So the car comes to a stop at a stoplight, and a group of people walk in front of the car. A couple of them look in as they pass. Allie, you're feeling hungry, but this isn't really your type, is it?
Nope. I probably am like white knuckling the like door.
Yeah. Maybe even feeling a little claustrophobic, like even though it's like you're pushed up against you're in the middle?
I don't know.
Of the front seat?
I'm assuming probably.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
you're
I'm just
feeling
like-
closed in, and then you're seeing these people walk in front of you, and the hunger's still, you can still control this. But your supply is back at the house.
Did these people look like my type?
What is your predator type again?
Osiris. So people who are my
Yeah.
fans give it to me.
Yeah, no, like you would much rather feed from people that appreciate your art.
So none of my fans walking on the street.
Not that you don't know. You never know. I mean, they're all potentially everyone is a fan of Clementine, right?
It's true.
It's true. Absolutely. The light turns green and the car begins to roll along again, and you make your way across the Don Valley Parkway out of sort of central Toronto and into eastern Toronto. The Don Valley Parkway is this highway that sort of like a snake weaves its way through the bottom of a ravine. It's known for flooding and heavy rain, and it sort of divides the eastern part of the city from the central part. We're not going as far east as Scarborough, though, so we're just in the eastern part of Toronto, not so far that we can say we're in Scarborough. It's not long before you arrive in the neighborhood that the bookstore is, and these houses were all sort of built. These communities in eastern Toronto were all sort of built post World War II. We're talking 40s and late 40s and 50s housing. So they all sort of have this blocky square brick base with a sided half story or a sided story on the top, and a lot of the houses look the same, even though none are quite identical because so much, so much time has passed and people have modified and renovated and things like that. But the houses are not big and luxurious in the communities here. This is not suburban living at all. And it's not long before you arrive at the address for Albion Books. It's a house. It sits on the corner. It's been converted into a bookstore. You can now tell that it is some sort of an occult bookstore, as there's all sorts of new wave religion posters and things like that in the windows facing the street, as well as advertising a potent collection of crystals and stones for your collection. Kitty corner to this sits right on a corner, an intersection. Kitty corner to this, someone has converted the house there into like a corner store. And there is a Greek flag proudly hanging from the corner of that building. And although there's all kinds of advertisements for ATM and Slurpee and Crunch chocolate bars, Nestle Crunch chocolate bars, there's also a healthy amount of Greek writing that, does anyone speak Greek in the group? I don't know if we have anyone that took languages, but there's a healthy bit of Greek writing there too. Who knows what it's advertising. It's late, maybe 11 o'clock by now. The rain is still coming down, and the streets are relatively empty, except for maybe the occasional straggler walking their dog with an umbrella. And the front steps to the Albion Books, there's a light over top of them, and there's one of those cheap sort of neon open signs turned on just beside the front door in the front window.
Oh, goody, they're open. I get out of the car.
Okay.
Y'all
Just let it
coming?
rain on you?
Yeah, I don't care. It's just water.
Cool.
I get out, open my umbrella, hold the door for what's your
Clementine?
for Clementine to get out. Kind of half hold it over me, hold it over her as we head out.
Thank you. It takes me a long time to get ready.
Oh, I'm sure it does. Your public must demand it.
Allie, you scooch across the seat and out.
Yeah.
Cornelius?
I just get out and get soaked, look miserable.
It's summertime. It's been hot, so there's kind of that, that wonderful smell in the air. You can only imagine it smells like that because you're dead, and you have without spending a blood point in Blush of Life. Scent, taste, the whole bit. Not available to you, but you can just tell by the way the rain's falling on the street. You're like, oh. I remember what it smelled like when this happened.
I go and open the door.
All right. You walk up and the door dings as you open it. There's a bell. Inside is very worn carpeting everywhere. And basically the front of the house, the dining room and maybe what was once a living room, a wall has been knocked out. There's like a support beam to hold up the second floor, and there are stacks of books everywhere. And there is a smell of well, I guess you wouldn't know, would you?
But if we could smell, we'd smell the dungy smell of wet paper.
You think?
And we're able to go in?
It's
Yep.
open as a bookstore.
Yeah. As you do, in fact,
It used to be a house.
Lacey's the first one through the front door into this converted bookstore, and from around the back of the stacks, you hear a jingling bell, and then the ugliest chihuahua you have maybe ever seen. Its eyes almost bugging out of its poor little skull. Its tail going up and bent funny like it got stuck in a door at some point. And you also notice it's missing a foot. It only has 3.
Dear God, we're gonna get banned by PETA.
Sort of bounces around the corner, and as it sees you all, its tail like doesn't really wag. Its whole ass end moves in excitement, seeing someone has come through the door.
Hey, buddy.
He makes his way over to you guys coming in, tongue out the side. Yeah. He
I
looks a
will
little
kill for
damaged.
this dog.
Does
Yeah.
everyone come in out of the rain?
I let him
Can I-
sniff me and give him scritches if he lets me.
Oh, absolutely. The dog comes right over to Lacey.
Scritch, 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 scritch.
At which point, a woman walks around the back of the stacks and looks up, the row at you. She's 23, 24 at most. She's wearing a blue U of T hoodie and a pair of sweatpants. She has a pair of sandals on, and she's like, "Welcome to Albion Books. What can I help you with? Hope you don't mind dogs. Come here, TT."
I love TT. I would kill for TT.
TT seems to like you a lot. And then she pauses. Wait. Did Graham send you?
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, he did.
She like pumps her arm in excitement. She's like, I knew it. I knew he'd come through for me.
Yeah,
Kinda look at her
problem
and
with
go-
your... Go ahead, Cisco.
I was gonna say, Miss Shepherd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he
I'm
sent
so
us to come
glad
talk
he
to you.
found someone to help. She very quickly moves past you. Excuse me. And she like pulls a little chain on the fluorescent light so that the open sign turns off, and she closes the door and locks it. If TT has not been scooped up yet, she scoops TT up.
Oh, I have TT like up all up in my business.
Oh, okay. So you've got
I
TT.
don't even care. Yeah.
She says, please come with me. Come with me. And she walks through the sort of the front and through a set of these very like right out of the 70s and 80s swinging doors. They're louvered, and they don't even go to floor to ceiling. Like you could you could limbo under it or like leap over them, but she pushes through.
Like
and
saloon
into-
doors?
What's that? Still indoors. Into
Saloon
a big-
doors.
Yeah, saloon doors. Into a very old-fashioned linoleum floored kitchen that has obviously never been brought up to date. It's just been left as is. And she motions for you to sit around sort of an old round hard-topped kitchen table. It has the metal ring around the outside of it to hold it all together, and cheap old chairs. And she sits down and motions for you to sit, and she's like, so he told you about Jamila, my everything?
He did a little bit. Not so much.
Something about a Miss Singh being in trouble.
Yeah. Jamila Singh. That's who's missing. That's who's missing. I'd really appreciate it if you could find her. She's been gone almost 2 weeks now. I didn't think Graham was going to send anyone to help.
When was the last time you saw her?
Well, she comes and goes, but like she's usually around in the early evening. I'm always here to make sure the store gets opened and tend to anything she needs done. So I guess it would have been about 11 days.
Do Do you have a picture of her?
Do I? And she like runs over and pulls a drawer out on the kitchen counter, pulls out like a very large wallet. And she opens it and you can see like student cards and Starbucks bonus cards and all kinds of stuff in this thing. And then she pulls out like a very old school like accordion photograph thing, and she lays it out on the table. It almost falls apart, and there are pictures of this girl with a woman that's probably maybe from India, a darker complexion, and she's in like all kinds of, and you can tell that this young girl adores this woman. Like in every picture, she is looking at her with complete admiration.
Okay. I'm gonna need her credit card or your bank account.
And I think I have a picture here for you guys of. This is sort of what Jamila looks like.
I'm gonna ask her for like what are your accounts that you would draw from her credit card, so I can at least see when was the last time she was at an active footprint cyberwise. It may help me track down where she is.
Well, I don't have anything like that.
Would you have to use money, don't you? Like, how do you guys get by?
Well, the bookstore brings in pretty good money now.
Are you cash only? She'd have to draw cash, wouldn't she? Look.
Well, I don't have that sort of information for her.
Does she have a laptop?
Maybe.
Does she have a laptop?
Oh,
Your
maybe
social
upstairs.
media account?
Yeah. I could take you to her room.
Sure.
That doesn't break any rules, does it?
Look, our job is to find her for you. That's what we've been sent to do.
Yeah.
Anything that I point to House character, she's the brawn. She's gonna
As
do
you
the
point
rest.
to her, there's like a 10-pound dog asleep in her arm with its head awkwardly like over her elbow. It doesn't even look like it looks like it's uncomfortable, but the dog is out cold.
Yeah. So she's the muscle. Artist. I'm not sure what you do.
As you say,
Our
artist,
driver.
he's like, wait,
And I was
I know you.
who? Which one? She wouldn't know me.
No,
Would she?
Clementine.
Yeah, Clementine.
She's like, you do the work with the blood, right?
Yes, I have.
Gemma and I went to your show about a month ago. It was fantastic.
Thank you. I love to hear from my fans.
Well, Jamila loves you. I'll
Yeah,
be honest.
let's
I've never really been one for art, but anything Jamila likes, I like.
Just a quick question there, Frida. Did you kill Jamila?
No.
Insight check.
Okay. Let's go. So we definitely want to use our insight and our wits. If you're ever not sure about how to use these skills, always look at the physical. So the top stat is basically your strength in all those situations. So charisma is your strength for social. Intelligence is your strength for mental. And then the next stat down is your dexterity version for that. And then the last is your stamina version for that. So what did we get?
4 of 2 successes.
4 of 2. You don't think she's no, you don't think she's capable of that.
Okay.
This girl is head over heels. And knowing that she's a ghoul, you don't know a lot about ghouls, but you're not even sure she can hurt her.
More
Like
the
Jamila would have been feeding her some blood once a month to keep her in line.
yeah, it was more the sort of like obsessive love
Yeah.
angle
No,
that
I
I'm
hear
looking
you.
at. Yeah,
If she doesn't love me, she can't love anyone's angle.
exactly.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. You don't think that's what's going on here? She's worried. She's excited that you're here, but she's worried.
Okay.
I just go like, look, all I do, I'm neither of these things. All I am is IT. But if you give me your bank accounts, her social accounts, I can probably, in a picture of her, I can probably track down when she was last seen.
Are you like a hacker?
Maybe.
I dated
So-
a hacker once. He was an asshole.
I'm an
So is this
asshole,
one.
definitely. Definitely I'm an asshole. But I'm here to help you.
Well, as long as Graham's not going to be mad if I show you where she sleeps.
I doubt it. We're here to find her, so
Okay. She sort of
Any
motions
clues?
for anyone that would like to follow, and there's a stairwell that she goes up to the second floor.
Okay.
You have one of those chair lifts?
Oh,
Maybe you just stay here.
sorry. I mean, but aren't you? Like, I didn't think that mattered.
Look, he's an 1812 war veteran. Give him a break.
No, wrong war.
I'm pretty strong if you need a hand up.
War?
I would love to help you, Cornelius, but my hands are full.
Cornelius. I love that name. It's corn. Did you get it?
It's got the juice.
Oh, you probably don't. Yeah, you're maybe too old for that. I bet you your hacker friend knows. Anyways, come on, let's go upstairs.
Corny's definitely on TikTok for sure.
She takes you upstairs. You see a bedroom that is very much a student in university's bedroom.
So it's IKEA galore.
There is University of Toronto everywhere. And not IKEA furniture, no, just sort of the things that are lying about the room. And there's like notebooks all over the bed, but there's also like, she's not totally grown up yet. Like there's still like, her comforter is like a Powerpuff Girl comforter. Like she hasn't quite let go of all her childhood stuff yet. She's in that awkward early 20s stage where you don't want to admit you have stuff like that, but you have stuff like that. And then she takes you past that room. There's a bathroom, and then there's a second bedroom off the back of the house. And when you walk into this bedroom, you immediately know this belongs to a kindred. The windows have been blacked out. There's 2 windows facing the back. They have been spray painted and blacked out. You cannot see out them. She turns the light on as you come in. There is a bed with a very heavy blanket that can be pulled up right over top to keep out all kinds of light and disturbance. But the room is also very book heavy. Tons of bookshelves here, and these books look like they're worth money compared to what's downstairs. There's also a desk to one side and a lamp over it. Looks like a lot of work was being done there. And there's a bulletin board with sticky notes and things like that all over it.
Take out my cell phone. I take pictures of the desk and the board with all the sticky notes. Then
Okay.
I ask Miss Shepherd, what's her favorite book? If she could only have one, which one is it?
Well, she goes over and runs her finger across the bookcase, and then she says, I think maybe this one?
Okay,
And she pulls out a very old black cover, no writing on the cover or anything, book.
What's the name of it and who's the author? That's what I asked her.
She goes, I don't know. I can't even read the language.
Take the book and open up, see if I can read it. I only speak English, so I'm just newly turned.
As you open the book, you realize that this is old. This is like maybe the monks illuminated this book from, like it's like that old. This could belong in a museum very easily. And the writing you think is probably Latin.
I look at Cornelius. You're up, son. I hand him the book and go, this is This is more your vintage than mine. Tell me you read
You
Latin.
do see under the papers on the desk there is a laptop there.
Oh, I go to take the book from him. I'm like, and I kind of fumble it as he hands it over. Catch. I look at him like, I don't read Latin.
Does anybody here read Latin?
Nope.
Tell you what, Cornelius, give me a let's see, what will we do here? Let's do dexterity wits as you fumble with the book.
Can you do 2 skills from the
Yes,
same?
you can do 2 attributes. So dexterity and then wits.
Dexterity, wits. This is not going to be good.
Well, it could be great. As we wait for our dice roller to go. It's slow.
Yeah. Bad tonight.
There we go. Okay, so
Except-
you're good with the book. You don't damage it. When you go over to get the laptop, Cisco, one strange thing for sure is that there's a blueprint lying on her desk over top of the computer. You can just catch the corner of the laptop, and it's a blueprint of the subway line. Like
I roll up
it's
the
a
blueprint on top of the table. I
It's
take
a
a picture
blueprint
of it.
of a subway station, and it's marked. It's marked for part of the Scarborough line here in Toronto. And that's very out of place compared to the other things around here.
All right, so I roll it out. I take a picture of it.
Yep.
Open up her laptop, and I ask, "What's?" I look right over at Miss Shepard. Do you know her password?
Well, I mean, of course I do. Comes over, starts typing, and it's not long before the computer unlocks.
Is it TT or is it like Frida?
It's actually something in Latin, but Frida has watched her do it so many times and is so obsessed that she knows the.
Okay.
She doesn't know what the letters
Is the
mean,
keyboard
but
in
she
Latin,
knows-
or is the keyboard in
No.
English?
No, it's
Okay.
in English.
Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna look is to see, like, when was the last time she drew any money out of her account. I'm gonna go to her bank page,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
then I'm gonna go to her social media page, seeing the last time she posted anything.
No, there is no social media.
She has no social media, no footprint.
No.
Okay, then I go to Google search, and I'm gonna take that photo of her, take a picture of my phone, upload it, and go to Google search to see if they can see that image anywhere.
Okay.
See what comes up.
Looking over your shoulder, very interested is Frida.
Mhm.
She goes, you know, Graham says we're not allowed to be on the internet.
Sure. Let's just see what the world says.
We're
And I
not.
post-
I think
Oops.
that I'm probably like open mouth, just like watching him do this. Like, you can do this.
So what
Okay.
does Google? What does
What's-
Google
what-
search
while,
render?
while Cisco's doing this, what is everybody else doing?
Snooping.
Snooping? Okay.
Still have TT.
Of course. TT's in heaven. Totally KO'd.
Sounds about right.
Clementine and Allie, what are you guys doing?
Just looking around up here, seeing if there's anything that stands out.
Okay. Why don't let's do a roll here. So anybody sort of snooping around. Let's roll investigation. Investigation and wits.
Can I do like an occult check on the book?
Absolutely. Occult intelligence.
3 of 2 successes for me.
3 of 2. Okay.
I have 5 of 2.
Wow. 5 successes. Nice. Look at everybody rolling so well. This
Because
bodes
that'd be
well.
like, okay, it's because I crit.
Yeah, so if you roll a crit, if you get 2 10s on your roll, they're counted as 2 each for a total of 4.
Nice.
Okay. So so you start to snoop around. So maybe you know what? Let's do Allie first. So Allie,
I got 3
Jamila,
successes.
yeah, Jamila definitely has an interest in hedge magic and spell casting and sort of ancient mysticisms that sort of lend themselves to that, to being able to push energy out into the world. If you had to hazard a guess, she's probably Clan Tremere, like Graham, which means maybe knows some blood sorcery. If that's the case, though, this is not her. Like, you don't find any kindred rituals or things like that here. She must have a private stash somewhere.
Okay. I would start to look for that then, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Are you going to keep just to this floor, or are you going to search the whole house?
Just to this floor for now.
Okay. Sure. For the rest of you that are looking around for other things of interest, so the blueprint, it becomes glaringly obvious that the blueprint does not match the rest of the things that she has here, in the house, in her collection, her library. There's just not, yeah, it's totally out of place. And who got the highest? I think it was Cornelius.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly.
Cornelius, you find, like, the sticky notes are all book related, except for one. You find a sticky note that says, Counselor Radford, daily grind, 9 p.m. You know that Counselor Radford is the counselor for East York, the city councilor.
I'm sure I don't know what the daily grind is.
You do. It's a coffee shop in sort of the East York neighborhood.
What time is it now?
Oh, it's like 11 o'clock. It would not be open.
It wouldn't have been from today. I'll take this little sticky note.
Okay.
What do you think about this? Anybody know this place?
Yeah, a lot of my herd go there.
Maybe that'd be somewhere we can look.
And actually, Clementine, Rainbow gets coffee from there regularly, your neighbor. She's always offering to get you something from the Daily Grind, but of course, that's not things that you like to drink.
Well, let's check the rest of the house. Did you find anything, Allie?
I'm assuming I'm still looking around this floor.
Yeah, so Ellie's moved on to bedrooms, to the other bedroom. You don't find anything like that over in Frida's bedroom. It's very Frida looks to be like some sort of an English major, maybe maybe studying library technologies. Like she's definitely scholastic.
Okay.
But there are no, like, the only pictures in her room are of Jamila.
Not so far, Lacey. Just, I think she's Tremere.
Would I know like how bloodbound this person is, just by their like actions or?
If you yourself have never had a ghoul, and we're still trying to play that we're neonates, right? So I'm gonna say that you've never seen this kind of devotion. Like, you've heard that ghouls are devoted, but you've never seen anything like this.
Okay.
And all of you would be capable, with your blood potency, to have a ghoul if you so choose. They do require to drink your blood once a month, though. You also know that if poor Frida does not get blood from Frida before the sort of the end of the month, there will be consequences. She's going to, like, if you've seen an addict come down, Frida's going to have a hard time.
Is there any other spaces where Jamila would be, things like places that she hangs out, anything like that?
Frida's like, well, she goes to the, not a lot, and she never lets me come, but she does go to the cave. The cave is familiar to maybe some of you. It's a nightclub in Scarborough. It's built on the side of a ravine.
And sorry, the blueprints were for the metro in Scarborough?
The blueprints were for the Scarborough subway line, sort of detailing where they would run through where they would run. This is an extension that the city of Toronto has been working on, but has never been completed, and the project was actually abandoned.
Weird.
Due to funds.
I'm sure.
I'm sure there's nothing down there suspicious at all.
No.
Take the plans and just put them in my coat for now.
Okay.
What do I find in Google? Through my Google searches, is there any photos of her anywhere? And when were they dated?
Yeah. Can Google actually, like, are we saying that? Are we looking like you're asking Google to find pictures of her? Can Google do that?
Yeah,
it's
you
called a
do.
reverse image search.
Yep.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm terrified. Okay, so it shows you what I know.
Yeah,
You can actually use Lens. You can use Lens to just do their face even. So.
Yeah, and it'll if your social media account's up and you take a picture of me and put it on, it'll show me, and you've got it on share. It'll show me a picture. It'll show me that picture of you.
Cool. Well,
you know
what?
On your account.
And Cisco's good with computers, so let's just have
he's
Cisco
really
make intelligence technology rather.
Okay, so how do I roll this? Go intelligence.
So click technology first, and then click intelligence.
Okay, technology. I'm not seeing technology here. Where do I click technology?
Third row.
It's on your skills, bottom right, third row. It'll say networks underneath because you've got a network specialization.
Ah, there it is. Got it.
Third column.
So click
sorry.
that.
Yeah, and then ask it to add intelligence to that pool.
Okay. Why? Okay, and then intelligence, submit. Pool modifier is 0, submit. It's saying difficulty 2, like.
Yep, that's fine. Yep.
Okay.
So,
submit.
and I'm never going to change that because that's a sort of a secret, but you can play where the storyteller will tell you it's this difficulty to succeed.
So I succeed 6 of 2.
Nice.
So that means I nailed it.
Yeah, that's a pretty amazing roll. You find an obituary.
An obituary for her?
Yep, with her photo.
What does it like? What's the date of the obituary?
10 years ago.
Okay, that's fine.
From
I'm looking for photos of her just walking around that people have accidentally taken.
The obituary tells you that basically her family, she's missing, assumed dead, and that some remains, her remains were. It says something in the obituary about her remains being recovered, and that the family is, welcoming guests at the funeral home. But that was 10 years ago. But she looks just like the pictures that you've seen here.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Okay.
What about any other pictures of her?
Yep.
Like
the other pictures, the other place you find a picture of her is there's a couple social media accounts. People have posted pictures of the Cave nightclub, and there's a couple pictures of like her outside the nightclub with people.
Any pictures of her at the subway station that she's got the blueprints for?
No, nothing like that.
And the last picture from her at the cave, what was the date on that? Is that like within the 2 weeks that she was missing? Like I'm looking for anything that happened, any pictures of her from the
3
last
weeks
2
ago.
weeks she was missing.
3 weeks ago.
So there's nothing within a 2 weeks window of her missing, right?
No.
And if I check her business account and all
You've
that,
killed it. You've done a very thorough search.
so there's nothing.
No.
All right, so I tell everyone, look, I don't know. There's no finances, no nothing. There's no social media. I can't find anything of her prior to her, like after her going missing. So other than the cave and this blueprint, we've got nothing.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So do you guys want to go to the cave or do you guys want to go to this subway station?
I found something that said she had a meeting at a coffee shop. I don't know when.
What's
That's-
the
that's-
coffee shop?
Daily grind.
Right?
Says it's with a counselor, right?
What's the counselor's name? Does it say?
Radford.
What do we know about Radford?
Let me Google him right now. So in front of the computer. What do we find about Bradford?
So I won't make you re-roll because you're already killing it on the computer. So Councillor Radford has been councillor for 3 terms for East York. Well liked by the people. There's pictures of him all over the place. He's at all kinds of social events.
Oh, Brad Ford.
Rad, R-A-D-F-O-R-D.
No, I get it now. I thought Bradford was the whole last name, not like Brad then Ford. Now, okay, now it makes perfect sense.
No. His whole last name is. This is not part of the Ford family legacy.
I got it.
Which I never even thought about for Toronto, but no, Radford, R-A-D-F-O-R-D.
Radford.
I think I have his first name here. Hold on. Maybe I don't have his first name here.
What's his number one policy or his big policies? And do anything to do with that subway station?
No, there's no reference to the subway stations.
And he has been not talking about doing transit or anything.
You probably are able to pull up like how the city council voted, and he has been in favor of the transit in all situations.
So he's a link to this blueprint.
Evan, his first name is Evan Radford.
Okay.
Do we know anything about him that wouldn't be on the internet?
Generally, what you've heard from the people of like what you know from just being around East York, people find him to be very approachable, and he tends to be friendly, and more than willing to meet with his constituents. He maybe sounds a little too good to be true. If
He's dirty.
Well,
Do we know what
everybody's
clan
dirty.
he's from?
As far as you know, Councillor Radford is not with a clan. He's just a city councillor.
okay.
I think speaking to the counselor would be probably our first stop.
If we can even get a hold of them, it's late.
Yeah, you're probably thinking tonight is not going to be the night to find him.
So we can either go to that bar, which is the cave. We can go to the subway station.
And you know what? I'm going to say it's like a Wednesday. Chances are the club is not open tonight.
Okay, so that lowers us down to the subway station or the cafe where she goes gets her drinks.
I say we start.
And it's not one
Subway
station.
station.
The blueprint shows it's just sort of a blueprint's maybe the wrong word, but it's sort of a site plan, like for where the line is going to run.
It was a proposal, it wasn't actually built.
Construction was started, and there were a few stations built, but it was not completed. Funding ran
Do
out.
we start there?
Funding ran out. The federal government didn't come through with their end of the money, and all building was stopped.
If I look at the line, is there any key infrastructure that it would go through?
Or
Uh,
underneath?
Built?
It runs to let me get that up here. Hold on.
Would it be going through her place or through?
No. So the subway line where you guys are runs along the Danforth, which is just sort of, it's not actually part of East York. So East York is all serviced by buses and that. But just a couple blocks down, you can get to the Danforth and get on the subway line. And then the subway line runs north all the way to Scarborough City Center. It's like a mall. And then the plans that you're looking at push past Scarborough City Center under the 401 and sort of up into northern Scarborough.
I guess what I'm asking, if I show this to everybody, would anybody here recognize like clan territory or some special place that's relevant to a special? What are we, clans? Is that what we are, like, that we belong to?
No, well, everybody has clans, and then the clans belong to like either the Camarilla or the Anarchs, or God forbid the Sabbat. But the Sabbat lost control of Toronto long ago and are sort of just monstrous boogeymen that are talked about. And then I would say that of the characters that we have here, Lacey, you would know that Scarborough tends to be more Anarch held. The Anarchs have a better grip on Scarborough than the Camarilla do at this point. Camarilla definitely have a grip on downtown. East York, where you guys are, sort of sits right on the border of Scarborough, and as you get further east into Scarborough, that's Anarch territory.
Thanks for the raid.
The subway's up in the Anarchs.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if the subway, because my next question, let me look over at Miss Shepherd and go like, look, what would she be seeing a counselor about this subway?
We don't know if it's about the subway. It was just a note on her bulletin board.
This doesn't make sense.
Because
what else?
I don't know. Jamila, I kept asking her to share more with me. I wanted to be more valuable team member, but she did have her secrets.
What was she passionate about? Besides you, of course.
Books.
These books.
Uh-huh.
And always looking to impress Graham, of course. He's the primogen of her clan and the essential of the city. Of course, you'd want to make a good impression.
And how would she go about trying to make a good impression? What are some things she'd do?
Well, anything to serve the Camarilla, really.
Such as? What has she been doing for the past 10 years to help the Camarilla?
Well, we've been trying to negotiate with the Anarchs of Scarborough. Jamila made friends with a number of them. Jake, for example, the guy who owns the cave. He's an Anarch, you know. She's been trying to get Jake to cross and join the Camarilla.
How's that been going for her?
I don't know. She never lets me go to the cave. I hear it's kick ass there, though. But she says it's not safe for me.
No, it's not.
Well, why don't we go take a look at the line then?
I think, yeah, we should go to the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Sure,
Oh, but you're
between
not shipping
Clementine
gas.
and I. What?
You're shipping for gas.
Jer said that it's a Wednesday, so it's probably not
Like a
open.
Right,
We
right.
would go to the subway thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
subway.
Quick
Okay.
to the Batmobile.
All right. So
To the Cornelius, to the Cornmobile.
the group leaves Albion Books
Rita.
back into the Oldsmobile. Yeah. Rita's like, "Oh, give me TT."
No. And I hand her over.
Dominic,
Sorry.
He'll miss his mummy.
I know.
She'll
I
be
know.
back soon, TT.
If you start feeling weird, give me a call.
You mean hungry?
Yes.
What do you mean? Give you a call?
Just call me.
How do I
I'll
get
give
you?
give her my cell phone number.
She gives
Or
you her
text.
cell phone for you to put it in.
Okay.
She's like, okay. I'm sure there's an explanation for this. You're going to find her.
I'm sure we will. Just in case.
And here's my fax number in case you need to get a hold of me.
Oh,
I mean, your pager.
do you have a beeper?
Can I get Lacey to give me a charisma? Animal Ken charisma. Okay. Yep. TT goes back to Frida, no problem. And you guys step out. This time, when you step out, there's like a crack of thunder overhead. The rain is really coming down, lightning the whole bit.
To the old
You pile into the Oldsmobile.
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm going to say you've been here for about an hour, so we're talking. It's like midnight now.
Do you want to sit in the back alley? There might be more room.
If that's what you want me to do.
Just a suggestion, not telling you what to do. You just looked a little tense.
I'm fine.
Sure you are.
So we start driving up into Scarborough.
To Scarborough!
As
Said
Torontonians
no
call
one
it,
ever.
Targaria.
I got. How long we plan on being out? I gotta have the car back before anybody notices.
What?
Well, I
Before
can't be out all
who
night.
notices?
Well, this isn't exactly my car.
And whose car is it?
My granddaughter's.
It's a 80-something car.
Yeah. Well, I gave it to her when they took my license away, but now I take it out every now and then.
Hey, as you drive and chat, Cornelius, could you give me a wits awareness check? Awareness wits.
Mhm.
No adjustments on it, just a straight roll. There we go. Wow, dude, you're killing it.
Damn.
He's definitely the getaway driver.
So you're on your way up to Scarborough. Traffic is not too bad, but you keep seeing a red Volkswagen Golf in your rear view.
Maroon Golf.
It's been with you for, like, you've made quite a few turns to make your way up into the north end of Scarborough. And you think you're maybe being followed.
Yeah. I've seen this before. I think we got a tail.
We do?
See that red Golf? Don't look.
The moment he says red Golf, Clementine, you know who drives a red Golf.
Oh no.
Vera LaCroix drives a red Golf.
That's odd.
Whole tail.
LaCroix.
She's a former herd member of yours. Turned stalker.
Yeah, that's like an ex-fan. But I'm kind of hungry, so maybe we could stop and talk to her. That'd be
I could go for a bite.
Everybody buckle your seatbelts. I'll lose them.
Does this car even have seatbelts?
Not in the back.
Okay, are you gonna try to lose the tail?
Oh yeah.
Okay, Cornelius. I want you to make a drive wits check.
Oh.
And you are crack driver, so I'll even let your specialty apply, so you can add an extra 1 to this when it gives you the modifier option.
Here it comes.
Jesus,
It doesn't take
dude.
long. It doesn't take long before this old man has, it's that
I like,
car's.
I like the picture that I pull around a corner real quick, turn the lights off, and we see the car just
Sure, okay.
passes. And then,
I've
back
done
to-
that.
And a few moments later, you see the little red Golf meow drive by.
You got a stalker?
Yeah, every so often to like keep the blood fresh, you gotta like move your people out, and she got moved out, and apparently she didn't like that.
Why didn't you just kill her?
Because they're fans of mine. Like, I don't want to have bad blood in the community. Like, word moves pretty fast in the art industry.
I mean, you could have just made her a permanent fixture in one of your pieces.
I only use their blood, nothing else.
Well, that's what I mean. Average human's got what, four pints? Make an awful lot of art.
For the most part, she doesn't really get in the way, and it's good for the press. It makes it look like I'm wanted.
Might make it a
Long as
little
you
bit
got
more
your priorities.
difficult for us, though.
Cornelius, do you start driving again?
Oh yeah, I'll keep her going. Get her going again.
Okay. All right. So it's not long before you're up near the Scarborough Center, which is the last stop on the fully working subway line. And then the plans show that the subway line would go 3 more stops north.
Are there any markings on the plans that indicate, like, they dug further than just this stop?
Nothing. These plans don't show how far they dug, but you seem to recall in the news that like 2 of the 3 stations were completed.
Do we know whose domain this runs under?
You don't. You
Okay.
do know that Scarborough is an Anarch territory,
Oh, we don't know whose domain it is. Okay.
but you do know that like just the way the Anarchs function, unfortunately, and this is one of the things that Graham was trying to press upon you, is like there's multiple barons that all say they own the same places, and
Maybe she made one of them mad by trying to recruit. Whatever
it's
the
not
hell his
long.
name was. Jake.
You drive up McCowan Road past Highway 401, which is a major highway in Toronto for those that are not aware, major highway in Ontario for that matter, and you get to the first stop, which is it's called Iroquois, and it's a neighborhood in northern Scarborough. You can see where the station entrance is and everything. It is closed. It's never been opened. There's cages blocking the entrance as you pull the car to sort of a stop at the side of the road.
Shall we
Still
go in?
still pissing rain.
Still pissing rain.
Let's go in.
Might as well look around.
Okay.
I make sure to tell Lacey that I found like that information about she's into magic and that sort of thing.
Okay.
Hey, anybody got change for the meter?
I just
No change
use
for the meter?
I just use the app that is attached to those meters now.
Yes, yes.
All right, we're good
I
for
love
3
it.
hours. Let's go.
What? Oh, okay.
Who carries coins anymore? We don't even have pennies anymore.
Like the entire side of my seat is just full of change that you can't reach to get.
It's
So
all
you guys-
pennies, all of it.
You guys hop out of the car and come over, and there's a stairwell going down, but at the bottom of the stairwell there are very heavy gates blocking where the entrance would have been, and beyond the heavy metal gates that have been put there, you can see plywood is up. there's a fair amount of street art on the stairwell going down into the subway entrance. And there's even what looks to be a man at the bottom with a sort of makeshift tent keeping the rain off. And you can see that he's probably asleep. You see him roll over, move a bit.
Just an unhoused person.
Yes.
Well, I'm not the charming type. Who's more charming than I am?
Oh, I could talk to him.
Okay, ask him about Jamila.
All right. I say he's on the other side of the gate, or he's before?
Oh, he's at the bottom of the steps, right up, sort of pressed up against the gate, trying to get a little bit of cover from the rain that's pouring down. And he's got sort of a makeshift tent that he's made out of a tarp and tied it to the cage and everything. To
Okay. Well, I'll make sure the awe is going.
Okay.
I'll head down there and I'll give him a little nudge. Not kicking him or anything, just a little.
Okay.
See if I can
Yeah.
wake him up.
He rolls over and sort of squints at you, and then eyes go wide open.
Oh, hello there, friend.
Friend, do I know you?
Well, not yet.
Now, I believe your awe is not resistible by mortals.
It is not.
It's not, is it?
No.
Yeah. So he immediately like takes a shining to you and smiles. He's like, I don't get many visitors. Come on in out of the rain, and he sort of pushes some newsprint down for you to sit on if you'd like.
Oh, can I have one of those? Did you take that picture of her?
Yeah.
Yeah, on myself.
Okay,
on my
I'll
cell
have,
phone.
I'll have a photo of her.
Yep.
You
You guys see the man pulls his legs in, and then does Cornelius go and sit down inside the sort of makeshift tent with him?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I'll pull out a photo. Have you seen this lady?
There's a street lamp just outside, sort of lighting the stairwell, and he sort of holds the picture out so he can get a bit of light on it.
I turned my flashlight on my phone on. Just
Oh, he
stand
sees
over
it.
them.
He wasn't even aware there were other people there. He's like, oh.
Hi. Sorry.
I don't have room for more in here. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. I don't mind the rain.
He looks the picture up and down, and he really focuses on it for a moment, and then he's like, no, I can't say I've seen this woman.
Is,
She out on her own like me, or?
she's missing.
Oh. You some kind of police?
No.
Okay.
Investigator sorts.
Oh, like a private eye?
Yeah, we're private dicks.
I see what you're throwing down there. No, I'm sorry. I haven't seen your friend.
Is there any way to get in here? You know any way in?
Oh no, they locked this up. They locked this up pretty good. Me and some buddies used some bolt cutters here a few months back, and I don't know. They must have motion sensors or something inside. Didn't take them long to get here and kick us out.
All right. I just kind of look up and
He's like, they never finished this line. Hey, never finished it.
Any other questions?
No.
Anything suspicious you've seen at all?
Suspicious.
Yeah, just out of the ordinary.
No, I don't think
Or
so.
any strange rumors lately?
Strange rumors?
Just anything weird?
Thinks into his head. Ali, why don't you give me a charisma or manipulation? Charisma or manipulation combined with persuasion. Persuasion plus either your manipulation or your charisma.
I tell.
Sure.
Do you have awe as well?
No.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you had presence.
I'm assuming. Wait, why did that didn't roll right?
Yeah, only one dice. Do you not have
Yeah.
persuasion? Maybe.
No, I don't.
Okay. So you try your best. He's like, no, nothing strange.
Are
I'm not
you?
the people person. That's Lacey.
I'd like look him straight in the eye when I say, "Are you sure you haven't seen anything suspicious?"
Are we using a power here?
Let me just check here.
Are we using dominate?
I would use dominate. I'm just not sure if all mine are basically about making them forget stuff, not telling me.
Well, you could use mesmerize.
Yeah, I'll command him to tell me if he's seen anything strange.
Okay, so you need to make a rouse check for me. This does not dictate whether it's successful or not, but you have to use the power of your blood here.
That's a crit.
Okay, so you don't get more hungry. And you're like, tell me if you know anything, and he quickly, you see the eyes sort of glaze over, and you know the power of your blood has, overpowered him very quickly. He's like, no, like I said, nothing strange. And I don't go far from this place.
Do you think that if you ever saw me or them again,
Sorry, you cut out on me. If he ever saw you
or the others, if he would remember us?
I mean, maybe.
Dominate, forget.
Okay. Are you doing forgetful mind?
No, I'm just gonna do cloud memory.
Cloud memory? Okay. Does it require rouse? It does not require a rouse. Okay. No roll is required against an unprepared mortal's mind. So you cloud the memory of this conversation with him.
And then I leave what's left of my pocket full of change in front of him. I leave.
Okay. Okay. You guys walk back up out of the stairwell?
No, I want to go in.
Okay.
So the cage or whatever, the gates that are closing it, do they go like floor to ceiling?
Yes.
And they have like a lock.
They have a good amount of chain around them and a lock.
I feel like I'm gonna have to
You can
dominate.
break
this guy.
that chain.
Probably.
How would we like to break that chain?
Just gonna give it the old hee-ho with some prowess.
Nice.
Potence rating of the user to their unarmed damage.
You do okay, so you do need to make a rouse check.
Where is it?
It's right
Yep,
under.
got it.
Yep. Okay.
Ooh, fail. Man, I'm hungry.
Okay. The ability still works. You just have to use some of your blood, and you get a little hungry.
Well, she's doing.
You pull down hard on that chain. Let's make a roll. We're going to roll. Let's see here. Strength plus. I think you get to add your prowess, your potence rating.
Yeah.
So it's a strength check with a modifier of +3.
Well, she's like smashing this gate. Can I do something to this guy again? Well, before this happens.
Well, you've clouded his memory. He has no memory of your conversation.
Okay. No, I want
successes.
to mesmerize him and send him up the street so he doesn't witness all.
Okay, I'll let that happen as well, because I mean he has no way to resist you, Ryan. So we have 2 successes. So we yank down on that chain, and one of the links give.
We'll just start unwinding it so we can get in.
You open the cage, and then inside, maybe about 3 feet inside the cage, is the plywood wall, which again won't be any problem for you if you want to just kick it in.
Yep, full on Sparta kick.
Okay. It kicks open, and beyond, there are stairs going down again.
Who wants to go
There would be
play?
a small, there'd be a small platform here, and there's sort of worked into the floor here is where the water can drain. So like anything that comes down the stairs then drains through the drains here, and then another stairwell goes down into where the station itself would be.
Okay.
Is
Let's go.
everyone going down in?
Sure. I'll go.
Okay. When you reach the bottom, it's pretty dark down here. Are we turning our... Does
Cell
anyone
phone light.
have...
Yeah.
So cell phone lights come out. What you see is there's a bunch of unfinished turnstiles. The up and down portion of it is there, but the turnstile itself has not been installed yet on them.
Oh, before we go all the way down,
Yep.
I'm going to just wrap the chain back around the gates,
Yep.
just so it still looks like it's closed, and kind of
Sure.
push the wood back into place so it looks like it's not been.
Okay. So you do your best that at sort of a easy glance, someone might think it's still...
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So there's a couple of plexiglass booths where ticket people would be, and then there are unfinished turnstiles. A number of the signs had already been put up for like, southbound track, northbound track, and where to go to get to them. There is a what would have maybe have been like a coffee shop down here for people riding the subway. As I said, the two entrances down to the two tracks. But everything looks very normal.
I'm looking for like motion sensors because he said that because that guy had said maybe that he thought maybe there was some down here. I don't think
Yeah.
there's gonna be, but I'm looking for them.
Yeah, you look around and you don't see anything like that. But just give me an awareness wits, if you will.
Awareness.
Oh, good job, Allie. No, you don't see anything that sort of notes a security system. You do notice like there's a fair amount of like there's old dried up leaves that have been blown in from last fall probably and not moved. You probably see a little bit of evidence of a rat issue. There's some droppings and things like that. But you don't, in this part of the station, you don't see anything. Yeah, nothing like that.
Is there any sign of foot traffic other than us?
No.
Like if she would have come through here.
Yeah, no, there's no sign of that at all.
Okay.
She has magic. Is there something that would have covered her tracks?
You're
I
not
don't-
too aware of what abilities she could or couldn't have. Nothing's impossible, though, you would think.
Let's keep going. Hop the turnstiles.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no turnstile there to hop, but you can still give it.
I'm gonna
you can
do
still
it
jump
anyway.
Over. Yep. And you guys go down to the tracks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably
So
follow them till they stop.
final set of stairs leads you down, and you come to sort of the platform. There's a track down either side of the platform. One would be northbound, and one would be southbound. There's signs marking which would be which. They're electronic though, so they're not lit up or anything like that. And very dark down here. Your lights are giving not very useful. Everything though looks like the rails are in. The third rail is in that gives the subway its power.
It seems like it's almost pretty much finished. They couldn't get together the $20 to finish it off? Like,
Maybe we'll find what we're looking for down at the end of the tracks. A reason for stopping.
thoughts?
Yeah.
mean, we're here. Might as well go take a look at least. Keep your eyes open.
Cornelius. See that third rail there?
Mm-hmm.
Don't touch that one.
Okay. I don't like to touch anything.
So you're heading down the tracks now? How is everybody's comfort level with this kind of like crawling around? It's pretty dirty down here and dusty. What's our sort of filth tolerance level for these characters? Are they okay with this, or like?
I
Some
had to
of you
undig
wore-
myself
some of you
from my
wore
own
some-
grave, so
Yeah.
This is Allie's kind of thing. Like exploring this kind of stuff is Allie's thing. So
I'm
she's
not
at home
happy
down
about
here.
it. I'm not like I'm in a business suit.
That's
I'm dressed really well. I'm doing it because this is gonna help me achieve my aim to get the name and address of the person that made me. But he's obviously like going, oh shit, I should have maybe I guess he's gonna look over at your character. Go, maybe I am overdressed.
You
It's like,
think?
down.
How about Clementine? Is this her thing, climbing around in subway tunnels?
I mean, I'm used to dealing with like gross substances, but at the same time, like I don't really want my cute clothes to get so gross.
Fair.
This is nothing compared to the trenches I used to crawl around in.
Are we down?
we
Okay,
went down
fine.
for like a second, but I didn't even get an alert saying that we were.
Are we back up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I just noticed a big red light on my thing, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, I saw it go like, and then it came right back.
Yeah.
all right." So you start you walk for what seems like a pretty long time, and then you come to a station which is clearly not completed.
Like, how incompleted is it in comparison
Like,
to the one we
The
just
tracks
left?
have been run, and the platform is there, but like the platform, it's only the base concrete. There's been no finishing touches put on anything down here. The stairwells you can see going up to the station above, but they're not even enclosed yet. They're just sort of open. There's lots of wiring and tubes to care, like the I'm trying to think, like the piping for like water and electricity are there, but they haven't been like all boxed in and cleaned up. There's no signage or anything posted at this station. Like this station is totally incomplete. Also, the air here is really stale. Like there's clearly not like ventilation fans and that have not been run here for a little while. They probably could use that. And at this point, all 5 of you notice like there is no cell reception down here. Like the city's Wi-Fi is not available.
Jeremy, Cornelius is starting to get very concerned about the time.
Yes.
Is there like a check I should make for that or something? Because I'm like,
No, you figure if you don't start, because you walked from one station to the next, a few city blocks, the time to get back and then drive all the way back to East York for North Scarborough.
I'll just say that everyone's probably noticing that I'm like checking my pocket watch like
a lot.
pretty frequently.
Well, what time is it now? Like in the game?
Hmm,
I imagine it's around 3 o'clock in the.
sure.
So we probably got 2 hours before we got it. We got to start thinking.
You've got about 3 hours before sunup type thing.
Okay. All right. So
What
You
time
got
does your
somewhere to be,
granddaughter get up?
Cornelius.
Well,
Sorry, sweetie.
I'm assuming everyone else doesn't like the sun as much as I do.
What time does your granddaughter get up?
Like really early, like 6 o'clock.
We'll be home by 6.
I need to be back in my chair before 6 o'clock.
So we'll look around here for another half hour, and then head
yeah,
head
then
back.
we'll head back.
All right, half an hour tops.
All right,
Yeah, it just
let's go.
I put a timer on my phone. Half an hour. 30 minutes.
Okay,
Okay.
let's go. Let's go.
As soon as I turn around, I change it to 45.
Okay. Let's have
So
people.
mean.
So, are we searching around down on the tracks? Are we going up into the station?
I'll
What's
go up
what's
to
the
the
Yeah.
plan
station.
here?
And I'm gonna look for specifically for any place that looks like it's a power junction, like a pot room where they would put the phone system or put the computer system in. That's what I'm kind of looking for.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
go with Cisco.
I'm looking
All
for
right.
signs of people or anything.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So let's have some people give me some. If you're looking for like. Okay, so let's do intelligence and technology intelligence for tracking down the sort of the operations side of things here, and maybe let's do a
Survival, because this is my like urban
Yeah,
exploration
yeah.
place.
that sounds good, and let's use your intelligence as well.
So I got
Right.
3 of 2 rolls.
I got 2 of 2.
Okay.
I'm not
So-
gonna roll any of that.
No, you're too worried about the time. Okay.
I
Okay.
got 2 of 2.
So Cisco and Lacey, it doesn't take you long before you find up in the station, sort of the power center, and nothing's been finished here yet. The electrical boards are not complete. The breaker boxes are still not hooked up entirely.
Nothing's hooked up at all.
No, like they just looks very incomplete. There is another plywood door here,
I'll open it.
like leading to the outside, and you can see, if you sort of peek through the cracks in the plywood and that, you can see another one of those gates. But this one, the stairs go up, but you don't even think it's open to the outside air. Like there's no rain, or you can't hear rain or anything like that.
Okay.
This station has totally been boxed in above.
So I'm gonna look at the wires and everything. Is there nowhere else where these conduits would run to? Like there's just making sure there's nothing here that's live. Like I'm looking for some sort
Yeah,
of
no,
false infrastructure.
With your check, you and Lacey can't find any sort of like this.
Okay.
This isn't even on the. There is power here, but like the lines have not all been run properly. So the main line comes into the station from the street, but it
Alright.
has not been hooked up to like run everything that's in here. So, Allie, you noticed down below. What did you get? You got some
2 of
successes
2.
for me. Yeah.
2.
You can. People have been in here,
Okay.
and the footprints lead up and down the tracks. Some of them you think is just kids
Yeah.
somehow getting in here. But
Do I see anything that looks out of place though among all that? Because like I would expect to see like workman boots and that sort of thing, as well as kids just down here, being kids. But anything that looks outside of that.
you find so the tunnel was dug further, but there's big heavy grating not allowing you to go anywhere past this station. Beyond the grating, though, you can see someone's gotten past, because you can see some graffiti on the walls of the tunnel that continues north. There was only going to be one more stop built after this.
Do I recognize any
tunnel
symbols or
The
anything?
tunnel continues. The tunnel's been dug, but the tracks have not been laid past this station. And you
Okay.
can see there's graffiti on the wall, and with a bit of a closer look, you make out that you think it's written in whatever language that book was in that you found at Chamla's house.
Latin.
You see some familiar characters, but it's very crude, and it wasn't done by anyone like the likes of our artist in the group, or a street artist who, would tag buildings and that with graffiti. This is like just someone with a spray can writing shit on the walls.
Can I take pictures of them?
Yeah, sure. So that a few flashes go off as you grab pictures. Mhm.
Yeah. And then I go find Lacey.
Okay.
What if you just lick your finger and touch a live wire, Cisco? I'm sure nothing bad'll happen.
You first. And I hand her the wires.
What's Clementine doing in this dirty, dark station?
Trying to look around, but I don't really want to touch anything.
Yeah.
If there's
So you-
anything that looks like there was blood around, I'm getting hungry here.
Okay. You don't see anything blood-like. You do see Allie take a few photos through the sort of the final cage before leaving the station. In the quick illuminations of light, it looks like she's taking pictures of graffiti.
Does it look like it could be a graffiti artist I might know?
No, it looks shitty. No style, nothing. It's not even like the line work for a good piece. It's just like someone has written shit all over the walls with a spray can. Anything else you'd like to do here?
Do I pick anything up with my auspex?
Oh, okay. What can we do with our auspex, Clementine? What powers do we have? Let's see. We have auspex level 2. So we do have premonition picked. I think we need to add another power to you because you just have premonition there. So we'll have to check on that. So these may take the form of flashes of insight, sudden inspiration. This power gives the character a sudden hint that aids them in some way. Okay. Well, why don't you give me a rouse check as you focus and try to find something. What did we get? A success? Or did we get more hungry? No, we got a success. Okay, so you, as everyone's walking around doing their thing, you just kind of dip into your power of auspex and really focus on what could be here. Can you roll your resolve plus your auspex, which is, so your auspex is 2 and your resolve is 2. So a total of 4 dice we need rolled here. Oh, plus your hunger dice, of course. If you hit resolve, I don't know, can you do just one stat, guys? I don't know how the roller works.
I don't know either.
Just
So
one.
she could do a resolve and then add 2 to the pool for
Yeah, okay.
aspect. And then it should add the hunger die as well, right?
Mhm.
So am I just clicking resolve and then no second attribute?
No, that's correct. And then give it a bonus dice of 2.
Ooh.
Okay, you got 1. Just for the briefest moment, you see so Allie and Cornelius are down here with you. And just for the briefest moment, there are more shadows on the walls than there should be. There's the 3 of yours and 5 more. And the 5 that you see look like they're hanging arms raised in the air, hanging by a rope or chain or something. And then there's this massive sound in your ears of screaming. And at first you're like, is that a train coming? And then your auspex, then your vision, your premonition fades.
Maybe I'm coming down off the drugs. I don't know if I'm gonna tell anybody that. That was weird.
Okay, so as you stand there alone, sort of in the dark, unless you've got your phone light on. The others have phone lights on, so you can still see their shadows. That echo of screaming just sort of stays with you. And I think that's where we'll pause for tonight, and we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it next week. Thanks so much for everybody that came out. Thanks to all my vampires for dressing up, and we'll see you in 7 days to find out what all this screaming in the subway is about.
Bye.